Ever heard this phrase, it's not personal, it's business? I've heard it spoken calmly, politely, even kindly, and yet I've watched it leave very personal damage behind. The reason this phrase survives is because it sounds mature. It sounds rational. It sounds like something successful people say. We associate it with power, professionalism, and control. The phrase, it's just business, or any variation of it, really means, don't hold me accountable. It's not personal, it's business. But someone always pays.
You've heard it. Maybe you've even said it. A deal falls through, a project gets canceled, someone gets let go. And with a somber nod, someone in a suit says the magic words. It's not personal, it's business. For the first 30 years of my career, I accepted that, nodded along, told myself it was just a cost of doing business. It is a lie. A comforting, convenient, and profoundly destructive lie. And from this side of the desk, the retirement desk, I can tell you that understanding why it's a lie is the single most important thing you can do to not only survive your career, but to actually feel good about it when you're done. Let me explain. The phrase tries to create a clean separation. Over here, we have logic, spreadsheets, strategy, and profit, the business. Over there, we have feelings, relationships, pride, and heart, the personal. And the rule is, never shall the two meet. Here's the part no one wants to admit. Business is not an abstract machine. Businesses don't make decisions. People do. People choose who to fire. People choose who to underpay. People choose who to betray, exploit, or replace. And people have emotions, values, fears, egos, and incentives. When a decision affects your income, your dignity, your time, or your future, it doesn't magically stop being personal just because money is involved. Let us look at some real examples. Example number 1, workplace. If your boss fires you after years of loyalty and says, "It's not personal, it's business," tell me, who feels the consequences? Not the company, you. Example number 2, corporate decisions. When companies raise prices, cut benefits, or lay off thousands, while executives get bonuses, they call it business strategy. But families feel it, mental health feels it, communities feel it. That is surely personal. Example number 3, relationships disguised as business. Even in partnerships and collaborations, when someone uses you, then discards you, business becomes a convenient mask for betrayal. The psychology behind the lie is that this phrase exists for one reason: emotional distancing. It allows people to avoid guilt, silence criticism, and maintain a self-image of being professional. It's a defense mechanism, and the more power someone has, the more likely they are to use it, because power hates accountability. But what does the phrase really mean when someone says, "It's not personal, it's business"? What they're really saying is that I chose profit, convenience, and power over you, and I don't want to feel bad about it. That doesn't make them evil. It does, however, make the action personal, whether they admit it or not. Now, here is a better truth. Even though it's a little bit bitter, there is honesty in saying that this decision benefits me or the company, even though it harms you. That's a truthful statement. It's mature. It's being accountable. Business doesn't need to be heartless, but it does need honesty. We accept this phrase because it promises emotional order. It suggests there is a clean separation between money and meaning, decisions and consequences, action and responsibility. It allows us to believe that harm can occur without anyone truly causing it. But life doesn't work that way, and neither does business. Business is often spoken about as if it were a force of nature, like gravity or weather. But business is not a storm. It does not happen. It is deliberately made by people. Every decision carries intention. Every outcome lands on a human being. And when a human being bears the weight of a decision, that decision becomes personal.
Over time, you notice a pattern. Those most affected by business decisions are rarely the ones making them. Jobs are lost, partnerships end, years of loyalty are quietly erased, and the phrase appears, not to explain, but to conclude the conversation. It is not a reason, it is a full stop.
The phrase serves a psychological purpose. It creates distance. It allows a person to act without sitting with the emotional cost. It reassures the speaker more than the listener, and often it is spoken not from cruelty, but from discomfort.
It is easier to declare something impersonal than to acknowledge the harm it causes.
This belief protects systems, not people. It protects efficiency. It protects hierarchy. It protects those with the luxury of distance. For the person affected, the consequences are very real. Rent is still due, trust is still broken, identity is still shaken. None of that is abstract.
An honest statement would sound different. It would say that this decision benefits one side more than the other, or that this is necessary for me, even though you are the one who will pay for it. That is not cruelty. That is clarity. Clarity allows dignity. Evasion does not. With time, you learn this. Life cannot be neatly divided into categories that protect our conscience. If a decision affects a human life, it is personal. It always has been. The question is not whether business is personal, but whether we are willing to admit it.
Having said all this, the next time someone tells you it's not personal, it's business, remember this: if it affects a human life, it is personal. The question isn't whether business cares about anybody's emotions, it's about whose emotions are being ignored. With time, you learn that life cannot be neatly divided into categories that protect our conscience. If a decision affects a human life, it is personal. It always has been. Business doesn't wake up tired. It doesn't miss rent. It doesn't carry grief home at night. People do. Somewhere along the way, we decided that if something happens inside a system, a company, a policy, a document, then it no longer belongs to us. We should not take ownership. We call it efficiency, we call it strategy, we call it necessary, and maybe it is. But necessary doesn't mean neutral. And distance doesn't mean innocence. Every business decision lands somewhere, on a body, in a home, across a life that will feel it long after the meeting ends. Saying that it's not personal doesn't make it less personal. It just means we've chosen not to care, because caring would require admitting that we are involved. That our comfort has a cost, and that our success passes through other people. Business has never been impersonal. It has always been made of choices, made by people, affecting other people.
I trust this has been of some service to you. I bid you a productive week ahead. Thank you for the gift of your time. I'll leave you to your reflections.